am back again with another evening live for some great sleep hacks. We're continuing on the A to Z sleep hacks. Now we're on the letter H, so we're moving along the alphabet. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Robyn Scott. I'm a sleep health coach and a clinical pharmacist. I work with people to help them get the most amazing sleep. These are usually people who have sleep, stress-induced insomnia, who are looking for other options besides using pharmaceuticals. So we're definitely gonna get into a little bit of that today. And like I said, we've been doing sleep hacks from A to Z. So we're gonna look into what letter we're on, and that's gonna start with H. So one of the favorite sleep hacks I like before bed is actually getting a hot bath or a hot shower. So taking this, and you want to time it right, about 60 to 90 minutes before bed can be really great to drop your body core temperature. We all notice that we sleep better when our body temperature is lower and also when the temperature in our home is lower. Not only do we sleep better and longer, it's easier for us to get to sleep quicker. So the initiation of sleep, actually starting to get that good sleep, is really effective with taking that nice hot bath. So that's what the H stands for today. This warm water will increase your blood flow to your skin surface. So getting that rush of blood flow in is very calming and soothing for a great night's sleep. So the next H I wanted to talk about was herbs. There are different herbs that are very effective with getting good sleep. One of the most common ones is chamomile herbs. Right now we are starting to begin to sell our SleepWell RX. This has the herb lavender in there. This is an aromatherapy product. You'll actually just spritz that on before bed at night. And this aromatherapy product will help you get great night's sleep. And one of the main herbs in there is lavender. Valerian is another herb. Lemon balm is a herb. I think we talked about passion flower before. So these are some of the herbs. Always you want to check with your doctor to make sure that these herbs are safe for you to take. So if you see a nurse practitioner, a PA, a doctor, make sure that these herbs are safe for you to take. So I'll go ahead and repeat those again. There's passion flower, valerian, lemon balm, chamomile. Those are some of the core herbs. We talked about the lavender. We have our organic lavender sleep spray. This is a great way to get herbs where you can just really use it as an aromatherapy. It calms you down, it soothes you, and helps you to get a great night's sleep and relaxing. Always you want to check with your doctor again for any side effects that may actually aggravate any current conditions you have or any potential drug interactions. I can also assist with that as a clinical pharmacist to kind of get you that information. The next H we want to look at for sleep hacks is a humidifier. So your air quality is so important for helping you to get a good night's sleep. The humidifier will moisten the air, especially those of you who are living in drier climates, certain parts of Texas, Arizona. I know we have people from all over the world on these live calls. So people, if you happen to live in Middle Eastern areas, Northern Africa, different places throughout the planet are going to be just drier. Having that humidifier and keeping that moisture going is going to be so helpful in getting a good night's sleep. Dry air can really cause throat irritation. It can cause nasal irritation. And most of all, dry air can exacerbate snoring. So if you, and a lot of people come to me, they have a partner that's snoring as well. These are things you want to look into, is getting a humidifier. Your air quality and where you sleep in is a major, major impact on whether you may have issues with insomnia. So one of the important things you want to do, you may actually want to, hi, we see some people coming on. Hi, Justin Durgan. Hello, good to see you. One of the major things you want to do is if you have or live in an area where you know you're getting a lot of pollutants in. Right now, where we're located in the US, we're getting a lot of that brush fire smoke in from Canada. So having a air purifier at nighttime would be a really, really good idea to really getting that good, really air in. There's some recent recommendations that a lot of times that our carpets are keeping us from getting a good night's sleep. So if you have issues with carpeting at nighttime, you may want to really just clean your carpet more and more often. Just definitely get it cleaned more often. Some people even take the carpet out of their bedroom because it contains so much debris and dust and dander in that. And that would definitely be, affecting the way that you sleep at night. So the next thing we're going to talk about is having a little honey before bed. So we talked about some of the different herbs. You can take herbs like teas, different chamomile tea, lavender tea, passion flower tea, valerian root tea. These different teas will help you get good night's sleep. A lot of them are natural sedatives. One of my absolute favorite teas, which isn't a standard sleep tea, is dandelion root, actually. Dandelion root is a great detoxifying tea that helps you to really get a great night's sleep. A lot of us find that we may actually be waking up in the mornings, really early, like 2 or 3 in the morning. That could be a sign that our liver needs to get detox. So for that detoxification to occur, the liver is one of the major organ that is doing the detoxifying, actually. And so that dandelion root is a really good deal. Honey, a small amount of honey actually helps melatonin production. There's some small amounts of melatonin in there. So if you're going to sweeten any of these herbs that you want to eat, you're definitely going to want to check that out and actually use a small amount of honey. I usually try to get organic honey that doesn't have a lot of added chemicals into that. And you're going to combine that with your tea. If you can tolerate milk, milk is also a great way to add and put a little extra melatonin in your body as well. So hydration timing is the next thing we're going to talk about for getting a great night's sleep. You want to front load your liquids, mostly in the morning time for good sleep. So, usually one of the rule of thumbs to getting good hydration is you'll divide your body weight in pounds by 2, and that's about how much ounces of water you should be drinking a day. It is hard to get good sleep if you are consistently all the time dehydrated. Our body is 70 to 80% water. Our brains are a lot water. In order to be at our maximum health, we need to make sure that we are getting good hydration on a regular basis. However, we do need to have that cutoff time so that that hydration is not keeping us up at bedtime in the evening time. So definitely look into that. Another one is a swaying back and forth or swinging back and forth before bedtime, commonly seen in a hammock. So that's our next H, using a hammock to get to sleep. It induces that gentle rocking and stirring that can actually help to synchronize your brain waves to actually increase sleepiness. So when it's time to get to sleep, we've all seen those old, even cartoons or those older shows where people really have a lot of relaxation. They have nap time and bedtime in a hammock. So that's a great alternative to getting really good sleep. So using a hammock at nighttime. The next H I want to talk about is herbal compresses. So we talked about using lavender. We have our organic lavender sleep spray here. I'll leave information about this in the comments below so that if you're interested, we can definitely get you on the wait list. We should have that ready in a few weeks. Using an herbal compress is a good idea. So you can buy dried lavender in an herbal compress form. You can actually buy, oh, I see some new people here. Hi, Mackenzie, good to see you. Guy, good to see you. Welcome, Mackenzie. And so these will be actually really good to actually, you could place some of the compresses, they make them actually in I formation where you could put them on the temples of your head before sleep, put them on your forehead before sleep. Some of them, you'll put them on your stomach. They're restful. They're usually heated up as well. So they're chamomile ones. There's some made of hops. That's another H. Lavender ones. There are very fragrant, but gently fragrant with flowers to help you get a great, great, great night's sleep. One of the ones doing my research, I was researching different H's to help you sleep, was humming. And this was something very interesting. I'm going to read this. Humming triggers the vagus nerve stimulation, which slows your heart rate and encourages a calm, meditative state. It also creates vibrations. We all can feel those funny vibrations. Yeah, Mackenzie, I love lavender too. It is one of my favorite fragrances. We have our organic lavender sleep spray. You can spray this just directly on your skin before going to bed. On your pillow can actually be sprayed. I had a pillow here earlier. Here's my pillow. You can go ahead and spray this on your pillow so that you can get a great night's sleep at night. It can also be sprayed on your sheets at night. Just in the air in general, a lot of people just use it as general aromatherapy for the hair. So I'll get back to some of the information about humming. The humming actually creates vibrations in your sinus and your throat, and we all can feel that when humming occurs. And it helps release nasal congestion and also tension release. Just a few minutes of soft, mindful humming, it can actually lower your stress issue. Now, one of the issues I've seen a lot with that people who come to me for sleep issues, they are having stress-induced insomnia. So any way we can do in the evening to kind of release that stress is so important. So that's something we should be working on. Yeah, I love my blankets too, Mackenzie. I love those. Yes. One of the other things I like to really encourage is doing habit stacking. So a lot of my clients, they're busy people. They have so much they have to get done as it is all day. They don't need to add more and more routines to their day. So that most of them already naturally just brush their teeth at night. We have them do, their actual, some of their aromatherapy treatments at night. Do some stretching at night. Doing habit stacking is a great way to introduce new habits and just really stack them onto habits that you're already doing. So if you're already brushing your teeth in the evening as a part of your bedtime routine, why not also include meditation as a part of that? I have people who like to read various books as a part of that. So definitely jump on, read some books. The books should be soothing. They should be not on your cell phone, because that blue light that's coming off of your cell phone or coming off of your tablet actually stops your body from producing melatonin. So, having a boring book too. So now a real exciting book, something that that puts you to sleep, because it's time for your body to rest and relax. And when Kendi said this is when she doesn't get candy, I know that feeling. You need the sugar in there. That is so good. That's a good point. One of the things I encourage people, actually having a sweet tooth. I've had a couple clients that told me, I'm upset that I have a sweet tooth. We were actually designed to have a sweet tooth, but really use it for definitely for really using fruits. Fruits have so many antioxidants, natural minerals, and vitamins. that we were designed to eat those. So you can give it a try, Mackenzie. Let me know how it works for you. Try some a delicious fruit smoothie before bed, or some delicious fruit, to see if that kind of helps you with the candy that you like to eat. And someone says, I don't read in books, I only draw. That's a good one too. Having the opportunity, whatever helps you to release stress. If drawing in the books, and having a dedicated notebook for actually drawing is a really, really good way to release stress. I tell people, a lot of my clients come to me, they can't stop their brain from racing. So one of the major ways is doing that brain dump at the end of the night. Go ahead, whatever's in your brain at that time, and that's just racing and won't stop, dump it into a journal. Have some pieces of paper around, a pen, just write down what's going on. Get it off of your chest, so to speak, so that you can definitely get that night's sleep. Last night we talked about guided, we had the letter G, so we talked about guided meditations. I want to talk about again tonight, H, hypnosis. Doing different types of hypnosis can help you to get to sleep. Right here on YouTube, there's some phenomenal hypnosis videos on, some great audios. Spotify has some. You can try some different ones. What the hypnosis is going to do, is going to suggest to you and recommend to you how to get a good night's sleep. It's going to recommend that you're going to get one. So it does these suggestive things to you. So I'll give you an example of what one would sound like. We're going to be working on one really soon here. So we'll load these up here free to YouTube. So you'll definitely have some hypnosis. So, it would start out with a calm voice telling you that, listen, you are calm right now. You are happy. You are happy to be entering into the world of sleep. You've released all your tension from your shoulders, from your jaw, from your forehead. And right now you are just free and releasing that. As you drift off into a sleep, you are very grateful and thankful for the day. The day wasn't perfect, but there's so much to be grateful for. And I'm looking forward tomorrow as I drift down into a nice, calming, soothing sleep. So it's a lot of information like that, where it's just really encouraging you and sending subtle messages that now's the time. It's a safe, great time for you to get a good night's sleep. I want to warn you though, some of the sleep hypnosis that we have on these channels will show kind of like graphic images in the evening time. So you should really be watching, either just listening to them, ideally with headphones is a good idea, or either definitely don't look at the images unless there's very soothing images, of course, that are putting you to sleep. That's a great idea. One of the next things I want to talk about is, and we kind of touched on this already, when you're doing a brain dump into your journal. One of the things is horizontal journaling. So you don't have to, sit up at your table or be sitting up in your bed. You can do this to help you go to sleep at night. Laying down while journaling, you will drift off. I encourage a lot of my clients to do this, and they find that, as they're doing this, they might wake up in the morning and find, I just see scribble after a while. I can make out the first couple of sentences and I just fell asleep writing. This is a good way to, once again, you're dumping your issues, your problems onto this paper and getting a wonderful night's sleep in the process. The next thing we're going to talk about is head cooling. So cooling your forehead. Once again, we hold a lot of tension in our forehead. It helps to reduce any activity, or really the overactivity that we're having in our frontal lobe and our cortex that could be keeping us awake at night. So they make a lot of great cooling products right now in the market. There's cooling sheets, cooling pajamas. There's just tons of different cooling things out there right now. So, I have another question here. What should you draw? I encourage people, if they're going to do some evening drawing, I have people who like to color. The adult coloring books are really, really popular now because they help relieve that stress. So something that's going to definitely help you to relieve stress, nothing that's going to get you overly, excited and getting you jarred up. Save that for the morning drawings that you do. The things you should draw to help you to go to sleep is whatever that you know that makes you calm, relaxed, and ready for a good night's sleep. So if you love flowers, if that's something you like to draw and do, that's great. If flowers get you too excited because you love flowers so much, maybe you're going to draw something else. Maybe you're drawing an adorable little, I don't know, sleeping puppy. Something that's definitely going to get you calm and sleep for the night. So that's something definitely to check out. Let's see, the next thing, we were talking about the head cooling. So head cooling has actually been studied as a treatment for insomnia and has shown definite promise in reducing like nighttime awakenings. So you definitely want to do that. And there's a home lighting reset. So we talked about that. I think I talked about that in some of our other videos where you actually want to start setting, you're going to kind of mimic what the sun is doing outside. So start definitely decreasing the home setting of the lighting for the evening. So the bright LED lightings, the bright fluorescent lightings that are out, you definitely want to tone those down slowly, have dimmers, turn on lamps. Some of them you may not even want to turn on at all so that you can alert your body, mind, and soul that it's time to get that great night's sleep. So we'll go ahead and recap some of the cool things we, talked about today on our live. From the first one, we're doing, just in general, we're doing sleep hacks A to Z. We are on the letter H today. So we talked about a hot bath or hot shower, taking this about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Even though it says hot bath, it's actually lowering your body temperature once you get out, which is so important for initiation of sleep and helping you to stay asleep. So those people, and I see somebody, I'm streaming also here on TikTok, someone says they don't have a bathtub. Okay, so if you don't have a bathtub at all, you can actually do a foot soak. So you can they have those different foot soaks. Some people even just use like some of the little containers or little buckets to soak their feet. I have even seen people who will use their hands and put them in like the face bowl of some water, some warm water, just to kind of really soothe and relax themselves. Adding some of our products will be a great idea to the water, the organic lavender sleep spray. You just shake this up. You could actually spray this directly onto the bath for a delicious, really great smelling, calming, soothing organic bath. You could put this in the foot spray as well. Also, you can add this to your, if you're doing the hand soak. That's important. Next, we talk about some herbs. So some of the herbs you want to really make sure that you are definitely checking with your major medical provider, whoever that is that provides you medical care, to make sure these herbs are safe for your current conditions. If you have any other issues going on, you also want to make sure you can definitely check with your pharmacist, such as myself, to make sure you don't have any like drug interactions going on with the herbs. The herbs we looked at today were chamomile, lemon balm, valerian, lavender. Definitely is one of the probably the most used sleep herbs, and definitely for calming. Also, we want to look at passion flower is another one. So there's some other ones as well. There's some, if you watch a couple of my previous videos, we talk specifically about herbs that help you to do lucid dreaming, where you actually wake up inside of the dream and you realize you're dreaming, and you can actually just have a lot of fun in there. You can do actually healing, and because you are well aware that you are wide awake, you can actually bring a lot of the healing, emotional healing, any trauma healing sometimes you get great creativity. You can bring those back into the daily life to actually use some of those. So lucid dreaming is a major, major way to have fun while you're sleeping. Some people say, why am I sleeping? I'm just wasting my life. No, 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 you're not. Sleep is actually so, so important for our vital, vital core body issues. We repair our immune system during our sleep. We fight off chronic diseases during our sleep. We actually consolidate our memories during our sleep. A lot of people don't know that, but we're always learning new things, especially we have so much technology coming out. I swear every day there's a new tool coming out, some new tech coming out. In order to learn all of that and have it gel, it actually happens during bedtime, during our sleep. So that's one of the major, major important aspects of really getting great sleep. We're fighting off viruses, we're fighting off bacteria. Our body is slowing, if there's any tumors that had occurred, slowing tumor growth. It's so, so important to get that good sleep. There's even been some recent studies showing that not getting that sleep can actually potentiate, issues with getting, what is Alzheimer's disease and dementia growing up, which kind of, really gels with the idea that we consolidate our memories and they gel during bedtime. So some of the next things we talked about is during our recap is a humidifier. Depending on the region you're living in, it can be very difficult to get good sleep if the air is super, super dry. So this can cause throat congestion, nasal congestion, throat irritation. It can even increase if you or yourself or a partner have issues with snoring. That can definitely be an issue as well. So you definitely want to look into that. We talked about adding a little honey. Honey actually has a little bit of melatonin in it. A lot of people don't know that. And it will actually help to stabilize your blood sugars too. This is important because cortisol spikes can actually wake you up in the earlier hours. So that's very, very important to definitely look into. We talked about another H was hydration timing. And this is something we probably already know. We don't want to drink liquids too close to bedtime. So that means your alcohol, especially your alcohol, should be drinking, but at least 3-4 hours before bedtime with your last meal. That's because although it is a sedative, it doesn't help you to stay asleep. It's a natural chemical that will dehydrate you. Sleep is already naturally dehydrating, so now the alcohol is actually going to make that even a worse process. So ideally, you want to slowly, get rid of the alcohol because it does cause so many other health issues. However, I know that I have diehard clients who are used to having, a delicious cup of wine with their dinner. A nice glass of that with their dinner in the evening. That's okay as long as they have that window in between. So we talked about hydration, definitely keeping that window open of 2 to 3 hours where you're not definitely drinking really close to bedtime so that you don't have to wake up. That reminds me, I recommended some herbs earlier. Teas may actually cause you to actually have to wake up and eliminate those teas at night. So some other ways you can take them are capsules, there's powders, there's actually small tinctures. Even though they're liquid, they're just really small, tiny amounts of liquid. There may be like drops. You may take a dropper full compared to like an 8-ounce glass of water. So that doesn't really affect getting up in the middle of the night for doing that. We talked about, we had different things we've seen through the years of people, sleeping in hammocks. And that rocking sensation actually induces, synchronizes your brain waves and kind of actually stimulates some of the sleep. You can kind of enter trance sometimes sleeping in a hammock. If you have one of those old time rocking chairs, that also is effective to kind of help you get that good sleep. So those are just a couple of things you can look at for that. We looked at herbal compresses. These are usually warm compresses that you can put them on your neck before bed. Some people can put them on their forehead, their eyes, their chest, even their stomachs. They make these out of lavender, chamomile. All of the sleep herbs contain different herbal compresses. They're actually very soothing, relaxing, and a lot of these you can use anytime, not just for a good night's sleep, but you can use them anytime you're feeling stressed or you need to release any anxiety and calm down from any panic that you may experience. So we talked about that. One of the fascinating things we talked about was humming. That was the next H we talked about for sleep hacks. Humming triggers your vagus nerve stimulation, which slows down your heart rate. It encourages a calm, meditative state. We all feel that like vibration in our throat that occurs. So it opens the throat and sinuses up, which is super helpful to get a good night's sleep. I'm going to go off on a slight little tangent here. I've had some clients come to me, and just some people come into my inboxes asking me, what do you think about mouth taping? I am not a big fan of mouth taping, and I'll tell you why. When you're trying to get a good night's sleep, you need, and there's a potential for actually, you could wake up and with a stuffy nose. Your carpet can be causing it. Some air pollution could be causing a stuffy nose. You know, we got cough and cold season right around the corner here, starting here in September when all the kids are back in school. When these things occur, you need another airway available to you. So that's why I'm not a big fan of mouth taping. I want to be able to personally, if I have some congestion or a stuffy nose, I want to be able to take a deep breath. Even though it's best to breathe from the nose, if that airway is congested for whatever reason, I want to be able to take a deep breath with my mouth. So I always encourage people. I don't advocate for mouth taping. I know some people, they love it. Do you is what I say, but I need all airways on deck, and I recommend that also to my clients. So that was just a tangent I went off on. I'm supposed to be talking about humming. That creates the vibrations. It helps to release some of the nasal congestion. A few minutes of mindful humming, one of your favorite songs. That's a gentler song, no heavy humming of something that you know is getting you riled up for the evening, but something that's gentle and calming is a really good way to serve your self-care and to soothe that nervous system so that you can get a really good night's sleep. We talked about habit stacking, which was the next H. So this is really sleep hygiene reinforcement. And sleep hygiene is just a fancy term for sleep rules to help you get the best sleep possible. So linking your sleep to a habit that you're already doing is a good thing to do. So if you are already going to be brushing your teeth, why not turn on, if you like to listen to a sleep hypnosis video or a meditation or either some calming classical music. Have that begin running while you're brushing your teeth so that can begin a part of your sleep routine. Definitely habit stacking is so important. I just feel like we're all so busy with so many things to do all the time that stacking those habits one on another of things that we're already doing doesn't create extra work for us. So definitely get into the habit of habit stacking. So your body, your self-care will definitely thank you. Horizontal journaling was what we talked about next. This is where you lie down and actually begin writing. Sometimes you can do actually, that brain dump. If you feel like you're a little overwhelmed at bedtime, your brain is just rushing and you can't get really the stuff out of your brain and you can't get to good sleep because it's just stuck in there, won't leave. Definitely doing horizontal journaling. You'll find with horizontal journaling, you'll lay down, you'll do some of that, and you may actually wake up in the morning and see that you fell asleep. You see some scribbles on there. See, maybe first 2 or 3 sentences you can actually read, but you fell asleep writing. So that's a real good way to really get some good rest. Head cooling, we talked about head cooling helps reduce any overactivity you're feeling in your prefrontal cortex before bed. We talked about home light resetting. And first of all, I think we started out with those hot baths. So I'm gonna see if there's any questions coming in. So someone asked me what my favorite herbs are before bed. I actually like, one of my favorite herbs is a gentle sedative. It's not a hardcore slam you to sleep, but it's a gentle sedative, and that's dandelion root. It's probably my absolute favorite herb before bed, yeah. And my second favorite herb, just a last minute plug, is our organic lavender sleep spray. Lavender is just one of my favorite, just smells good, it's refreshing, it's gentle and just calming and relaxing. So that would be probably my second favorite, yeah. So that's it. So I want to thank everyone for being on here tonight. This was a great show. And you have a question, Mackenzie? I see somebody in here has a question. I don't see your question, no. Okay. All right, I don't think I see any more questions. So this has been a great live. Thank you for all the great participation. Thank you so much. If you have a question I didn't answer, just put that in the comments and I'll be sure to answer your question in the comments. And I'll see you actually tomorrow when we'll talk about the letter I for sleep. So we covered the H's today. So we're on our A to Z sleep hacks. So this has been really fun tonight. And my favorite thing to do before bed, someone asked, I love bath time. That's my absolute favorite thing to do. And I use magnesium flakes or something called Epsom salts. Those are actually magnesium salts. So I put those in those. A lot of people don't know this, but magnesium is the top all natural muscle relaxant probably on the planet. It relaxes your muscles from head to toe and soothes you. We also have a big depletion in magnesium, especially in the American diet. It's predicted that at least 70 to 80% of our population does not get enough magnesium. And we could see this even as far as till now, we're in 2025. The number one, really killer in the US is heart disease. And magnesium is one of the major minerals needed for proper heart rate conduction. So that's really not surprising that we see that in the population. I'm not a big fan of taking a lot of supplements. I try to get as much from our food, which can be difficult because our soils are depleted of a lot of the vital minerals, nutrients that we need. They've been over-farmed for the past few hundred years, so we don't quite get all of the nutrients that we need, which is one reason I love getting the magnesium, because our skin is actually absorbing that into our body. So I like getting that so I don't have to worry about, is it going to interact with anything? It's small amounts of it, but it's really a great way to feel relaxed, soothed, and it's just calming to get a good night's sleep. That's probably, I know no one asked me this was my favorite mineral, it would be magnesium. That would be my favorite mineral. So, okay. Well, this has been a fantastic live. I will be saving this live. If you need to go ahead and rewatch it, take some notes, be sure to do that. I'll be back next time with the letter I for more A to Z sleep hacks. I'll see you next time. Thank you.